Tech Cocktail Conversations, candid insights from startup founders, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders from around the globe.
When we started 2 years ago, we knew that celebrating entrepreneurs and promoting particularly other regions around the country would be a good thing. We've now launched startup regions in 30 different regions all around the country, and there's tremendous momentum, and a lot of areas that people really weren't paying attention to are getting more visibility, more buzz. Locally, there's more people who are supporting the startups, mentoring them, angel funding, that kind of thing. So it's been great to see. I think we still work to be done, but we're beginning to see what I've called the rise of the rest within the country, where it's not just a few places like Silicon Valley, New York, DC, others, but there is this regional rise of other regions. If you're an entrepreneur in one of these cities and you want to start a company there, now you'll be able to. 10 years ago, in most cases you couldn't. The most important thing actually is the earlier stage, which is this crowdfunding that became legalized last year when the Congress passed this Jobs Act, jumpstarting our business startups. And there are a bunch of components to it, but crowdfunding was a key one. And that's particularly important in these regions that don't have well-developed angel networks or seed financing. Right. So now you have the ability to essentially put your company up there, and people in that region or outside that region would be more aware of it. So I think it's a big deal. It's not yet fully legal because the SEC still has to write some rules, so it's taking a little bit longer than we'd like. But that I think can be very helpful to get more entrepreneurs to get that initial few $100,000 they need to really get on the playing field and have a shot. If they're successful at that stage, I think they'll be able to start attracting venture capital. And I think over the next decade, because of this regional rise of the rest, most of the venture firms in California, New York, other places will start developing regional strategies. They'll figure out how to connect to these different regions. And I think they'll look at crowdfunding platforms as sort of a place, come almost like an early radar of what's bubbling in those regions. And so once we get that in place, once more companies get the funding, then stay in their region and start a company, and once the companies bubble to the top, I think there will be a lot of capital finding these great ideas because ultimately it is about people and the ideas, and eventually capital will find them. They're really kind of, for me, three buckets. My wife, Jean, really runs the foundation, so that she takes the lead on that. So the main is Revolution, and we've kind of ramped up our growth activity. We're now ramping up our venture activity. So really trying to build Revolution into the leading firm on the East Coast that's investing in great entrepreneurs with great change-the-world ideas. So that's the main one. The second is Startup America, and how do you build up those regions and create more momentum around that. And the third is on the public policy side. I have spent a fair amount of time, like the Jobs Act last year. The big push right now is around immigration. I testified in the Senate Judiciary Committee a couple of weeks ago. There are a lot of bills introduced around high-skilled immigration. I'm cautiously optimistic that the Republicans and Democrats can actually come together and have a bipartisan solution, not just on high-skilled immigration, but have that be part of a broader, more comprehensive immigration reforms, which our country desperately needs. So I think that the reason I'm so passionate about that is talent really drives the entrepreneurial sector. Yeah. And if as a nation we lose that global battle for talent, we're going to lose our edge as the most vibrant entrepreneurial economy. And there are many countries that have really stepped up their activity in the last 5 or 10 years to really be a magnet for talent. Our policies around attracting entrepreneurs and engineers, innovators, is really out of step with what's happening globally, and we really need to fix that and fix it quickly. The good news is we still attract some of the best and brightest from all over the world to come to our universities. Over half of the people getting PhDs and masters are from other nations. The crazy part is then once we give them these PhDs or masters, we kind of kick them out and force them to create companies in other countries that compete with our companies here. So it really is crazy, and hopefully this year will fix it.